said to Tom, this is going to be fun. Some people call it murder ball. Have you heard of this? Others, it's wheelchair rugby. Whatever your name for it. Northampton Saints have a team, and this weekend they take on the old enemy. They're taking on Leicester's Tigers. So we have sent Tom to meet the team and give it a go. And, well, I mean, you need to be brave for this, Tom, don't you? Because I've seen footage of wheelchair rugby, and it is brutal.
Yeah, they don't mess around, do they? It's a big deal, Annabelle. Something like 25 countries play it. One variety of wheelchair rugby is a Paralympic sport. People crashing headlong into each other in wheelchairs. And there are some quite odd rules where basically if you crash your wheelchair into another wheelchair, then anything goes. But in some varieties, no actual contact between the people is allowed. So you see two chairs go rattling into each other, an enormous impact. They both fall over and then they're both leaning to try and keep from kind of brushing hands or something. Depending on the type that you play, there can be 4 or 5 players on each team. Simple rule, have the ball in your possession when you get into the in-goal area. Score points, win the game, and probably come away a little bit battered and bruised, but certainly quite happy at the end of it. Jamie Higgins is the coach of Northampton Saints Wheelchair Rugby team. And Jamie, this is a big week for you. It's why we've come to see you, because on Saturday you take on the arch rivals.
Yes, definitely. For us, it's our first friendly fixture we've been able to put on as a team. So we're going up against the Division 1 champions, Leicester Tigers. We've invited them down for a friendly and to try out the new facilities here at the NIA. So, yeah, it's a big game for us this weekend.
I haven't even talked about where we are. Yeah, Northampton International Academy is where you're based, which is the old sorting office on Barrett Road. We're in the sports hall, which is absolutely gleaming and brand new and looks brilliant and I guess is ideally suited for you.
Yeah, it's a perfect location. It's close to Franklin's Gardens as well. So we go out the back of the school, you can literally look down and see straight down to the grounds. So we're sort of like in throwing distance. But yeah, big game for us this weekend. It's our first opportunity to put a friendly fixture on. Host the game ourselves and use it as a bit of a showcase to let people know about Northampton Saints Wheelchair Rugby.
We've got 7 of your players in the background. It includes your son, and I'm imagining that they've all got some pretty powerful stories to tell about how they've wound up using wheelchairs, be it something from birth, something that's happened to them in their life.
Yes, certainly. Some of them have got disabilities from birth, others amputees that may have had an accident in later life, lost limbs, so forth. One good thing about the Fives version of the game, it makes it more inclusive for people with any kind of disability, where the Paralympic version players need to be impaired within 3 limbs. So, you know, our guys are a complete mix, and they get to play within both versions of the game, some of them.
I mentioned in my introduction how full on it can be. It's not for the faint-hearted, is it?
No, definitely. The players crash into each other. They do topple out of their chairs, but as you've mentioned, the main goal there is to not make contact with the other player, because you can get yourself toppled out of your chair, and then to add salt to the injury, you're kind of put into the sin bin because you've committed the foul. So.
Come with me, because we've got some of the chairs over here, Annabelle, and for people who haven't seen them, they're quite compact. Can I have a sit down in one? Is that okay? So I'm going to plonk myself in this one. So Annabelle, the wheels are kind of on a really kind of steep angle, which I guess makes the chair very nimble. The seat is tiny, and then I tuck my feet in onto a metal plate, and then there's basically a giant metal frame in front of my toes, to protect my legs, basically, Jamie?
Yeah, the chair you're in is classed as a pick chair. This is what one of our lower pointed players would use. It's more of a defensive chair, and the metal frame at the front is called the pick bar. What they can do with this, they can jam it into the other player's wheel and hold the player from moving up and down the court. They can actually hold them in place if they've got the strength there. So yeah, the chair you're in is more of a defensive chair.
And I'm looking at your players. To a man, they have all got really quite developed upper bodies, and they're quite athletic people. Look at me. How do you think I'm going to get on this morning? Be honest.
To be perfectly honest, it's different for everybody. I've had a go in the chair, and I've ached after the sessions where these guys sort of push up and down and beat me on a sprint, and you know, I think of myself as being quite fit and able, but these guys can really show me up. So you'll have your work cut out going up against these guys this morning.
Yeah, I think I will. And also, Annabelle, I should just say Lenny Newman from the Saints Show and from our rugby commentary is coming. Oh, big impact! It's coming down as well. So we're going to have some challenges. Jamie, you've got some challenges lined up for the two of us, haven't you?
Yes, definitely. We're going to get you to do some sprint races against our guys, see if you can keep up with their speed. We're going to do a bit of a slalom as well and see how your chair handling skills are, see if you can get round the slalom without hitting any objects. So.
Oh, what a start to the working week, Annabelle. This is going to go so badly. Jamie, for now, thank you very much. Jamie Higgins from Northampton Saints Wheelchair Rugby Team. He is their coach. Annabelle, they are playing Leicester on Saturday down at Northampton International Academy. 2 games that day, warming up this week. I'm pretty sure they won't have ever seen someone more inept at this sport than me.
Tom, can I just ask, every now and then there is a massive bang in the background. That is
Yeah,
what?
they're warming up. That's them warming up. So that's them like crashing headlong into each other. One guy nearly got tipped out of his chair just a minute ago. So the ball's been thrown long. There are 2 players on rival teams setting off after it, one of whom is actually Jamie's son. Oh, it's gone. The ball's gone dead. Very, very nearly was a goal there. This is exciting
stuff. You're a little
stuff.
nervous.
I think little is probably understating it. For those who don't know my physique, wheelchair rugby I am not.
No. Any kind of rugby you're not.
No, basically. But hey, listen, at least you get to sit there in the studio with a smug smile on your little face and laugh at me, Annabelle.
Exactly, that's
That's
my...
another crash. I'm looking forward to this.
Wow, Tom, I can't wait.
On FM.
Online.
Because, Saints take on Tigers at the weekend in the first wheelchair rugby meeting between Northampton and Leicester. And when we spoke to Tom a little earlier, there were some quite frightening background noises.
For us, it's our first friendly fixture we've been able to put on as a team. What they can do with this, they can...
And rugby commentary is coming. Oh, big impact. Oh, what a start to the working week, Annabelle.
Brutal sounds. That is only the warm-up. So Tom is at Northampton International Academy, which is where they train. And Tom, when we spoke to you, 20 minutes, half an hour ago, you were a little nervous.
Yeah, I'm more than a little nervous, and I have a feeling that my nerves aren't going to be particularly dispelled when I chat to some of the players now. But just a few quick notes, Annabelle. Northampton International Academy, the school in the old sorting office on Barrett Road in Northampton, is where Northampton Saints Wheelchair Rugby Team trains. If you're someone who thinks you'd like to give this sport a go, get in touch with Saints, speak to their community team. They can give you all the details. But this team is playing Leicester Tigers twice in, games that are labelled as friendlies, but I think will probably be anything but. And they're on Sunday, this coming weekend, at 11 o'clock and at 1 p.m. You can come down and watch. The school will be open. You can come down and watch some brilliant wheelchair rugby. The school's open from about 10:30. Let's speak to some of the players. Craig Withy is here, and Jerry Mack, who is the captain for this weekend. Jerry?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I'm the captain.
Now, you had a really interesting experience because you played rugby prior to an injury, and now you get to play rugby again and wear the Saints crest. So you must feel quite proud about that.
I do feel quite proud for it, yeah. Been an Ulster man, that is, as well, coming over here and wearing a Northampton Saints top. No, but I do. It's been life-changing for me. To say, play rugby at a good level before, then have an injury where I lost my leg. And to get back to playing rugby at a competitive sport, it's just fantastic.
The physical side of things, the sense when you came off a rugby field in your playing days and would feel exhausted and pleased and all of those things, I imagine if you then don't have that in your life, that's a big gap that needs to be filled.
It is a big gap indeed, and it's not only just the physical playing and the contact, it's also the camaraderie you have among your teammates. You know, this team is fantastic. It's no different than any other changing room with any able-bodied locker team. There's a lot of slagging goes on, there's a lot of banter, a lot of winding each other up, but when it comes to game time, we're there as a team, and it's fantastic.
Craig Withy, I mentioned that the game against Leicester Tigers this weekend is in theory a friendly, but I don't think you'll be approaching it like that, will you?
Well, you've got to play what you can, and I mean, I'm going to play in the best I got, and I've got to give it all you got. And for the boys out there, as well as you've got to do the badge proud. And Saints Tigers, is there such thing as a friendly, really? I mean, it doesn't really happen. I mean, we watched the game at the Gardens a couple of weeks ago, brilliant game, and to be able to say that I'm a Saints player, I'm like Jerry Mack, I was a stand-up rugby player in my youth, I got to a pretty reasonable level, the competitive sport, the boys, Jamie the coach, the things that the Saints have given us, it's just brilliant.
I can't imagine how someone comes to terms with injury that can affect you so profoundly. You were telling me that you had a spinal cord injury, and so, like, competitive sport, when you then lose that, is a big gap, like Jerry was saying.
Yeah, it's a big gap, and it takes. Yeah, we've been disabled. We all go to these sometimes dark places, but this gives us some kind of light at the end of the tunnel, something to get out of bed for, and yeah, something to keep moving forward for. I mean, sometimes yes, there are days where it hurts, everything hurts, but you've got to get up and keep moving forward. And sports like this just shows that you can do stuff. There isn't. Rather than looking at the disabled stuff, look at what you can do rather than what you can't.
I mean, I look at you guys training, and I have to say I feel mildly terrified by the speed of some of the impacts. Jerry, you were saying when you're in your own chair, you can get up to what you were saying, 20 miles an hour?
Maybe even a bit more, yeah.
So if you're doing that speed, someone else is doing that speed, and you go into it, that's a 50 mile an hour impact.
Indeed, yes.
So if that happens in my car, there's like a police crash investigation.
There is, and if it happens here, you get a good cheer, and then away you go again. Try and make it happen again.
Is it like, do you ever feel frightened? I think I would.
No, you don't. The chairs, you are very well protected in the chair, and if you take a little tumble, there's no difference in tumbling in other sport. That's why we're here. We're here for contact sport. That's what we love. And it's like any other contact sport, gets rid of a bit of aggression. You come out of here a happier person, and you leave it all on the court, you know.
Craig, I think it's safe to say, if I look at your build, Jerry's build, you know, you've both got big upper bodies, quite a few tattoos, quite a lot of facial hair going on. Describe for the listeners my physique. Be as honest as you like.
There's more meat on a bit of pencil, to be fair. I mean, you're not built for rugby. Not even. I wouldn't have thought rugby's your game.
No, it's really not. So, how do you think I'm going to get on?
You'll be fine. I mean, we've got Casey. He's a young lad. He's only just turned 18, and he's not the biggest build. He gets in there, gets stuck in. I think he's probably the most aggressive out of all of us, to be fair.
He could always come back tonight and team up with the juniors if he's not fancying a go with us.
Have a go when the kids are out. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, see the banter's kicking in already. I'm now getting abuse from the presenter. Craig and Jerry, thank you both very much. Well, I say thank you. Buzz off. Cheers. Annabelle, it started.
It has,
Lenny Newman's arrived. Any professional respect that I was maintaining is going to disappear. There's another big impact. I'm looking forward to this.
Oh, Tom, you'll be fine. He won't be fine. No, Tom, you'll be fine, don't worry. Lenny's similar size to you. What can possibly go wrong? Stay tuned. Tom playing wheelchair rugby or murder ball live on the radio to come.
On FM, Radio Northampton.
You heard Colin Deans there talking about the fact that he used to be sick before every match because of the nerves. Well, that could apply to Tom this morning because we're talking about wheelchair rugby and Tom is taking part in this for the first time. If you've ever seen footage of wheelchair rugby, you will know how brutal it is. There was a film made about it called Murder Ball. That is the nickname for the game sometimes. So we thought, well, you know, Monday morning, Tom's got nothing better to do. Let's make him play Murder Ball. And you are training with some of the team this morning, Tom, yeah?
Yeah, I'm hoping. Can you actually hear me clearly, Annabelle?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so a quick description. I'm in a wheelchair with my thighs and my waist strapped down. I've got black gloves on so I don't chafe my hands on the wheels, and the microphone's kind of tucked between my knees with my headphones on. Cables all trailed everywhere. If you can hear impacts in the background, this is a training drill. So there is a circle of players. We're passing the ball between us. I've just caught the ball, and that means that I'm next to get absolutely... Oh my word.
Gosh.
To get scared. Oh, wow. I've dropped the ball, Annabelle. Hang on. Right, let me just... I'd say the coordination you require. Right, there we go. I'm just going to throw that somewhere. That went well. The coordination you need to play this game is pretty astonishing. I'm going to roll myself round to Lenny Newman, who's joined us from the Saints show, because Lenny has also never played this game before. Lenny, how are you finding it?
It's absolutely brilliant, but so tiring. It's I just said, if you want to do some fitness, these boys are a different level, certainly upper body, but I'm so impressed. It's been probably 20 years since I first did this, and the game has moved on, and the equipment, wow. The battering is taken. But these boys, how their upper body, I keep repeating it, is fantastic. And I'm probably not in the best condition I've ever been since I played, but you can see why these boys are, in upper body fairly good nick. They're really brilliant.
And pride, I imagine, as well. The fact that it's full Saints outfit, Saints crest, Saints training gear, that they are part of a club with such a rich heritage. Massively
important, and so it should be. It's it just put that badge on is pretty special, whatever you do. But this is a form of rugby. Some call it murder ball, but they are part of the brand. And I think the thing is that they are representing the town, the county. Brilliant. Because as I say, do not underestimate when you say about wheelchair rugby. What it's like, because it is attritional, it's quick. The turning that they do is absolutely fantastic. And I think the other great thing is it challenges able-bodied people, which tells you all about what it's like in wheelchair rugby.
I'm sweating. I don't know about you.
Well, I am, but that was just for the stairs coming up into this academy. No, honestly, we are.
Lenny.
This marvellous. The other thing is. And Annabelle, I can't hear you, but if you can picture me squeezing my love handles into this wheelchair, I'm compact, aren't I? I think you'd say, aren't I? At the minute?
I have to say, watching you get into that wheelchair was, that was a thing of beauty. That was a thing of beauty. Oh, the ball's just missed us, Lenny, which is lucky because we were going to get absolutely mashed. Listen, thank you for that. We're going to have a challenge in a little while, aren't we?
We are, yeah, we're going to have a challenge. I'm not sure what it is. This first one was bad enough, but I think we've got a sprint challenge, I think we've got a slalom challenge, and then the last challenge of me was getting Lenny out the chair without him having a wheelchair stuck to his hips.
Well, it's all right because I've sent someone to go and get a kilo of Vaseline, so you'll be fine. We've both just been crashed into. Jamie Higgins, coach, when you watch these guys absolutely skewering each other each Monday night, do you think, goodness, try and stay fit for the game, please?
Yeah, I do, but these guys are rugby players. They like to make those hits, they make that contact. Some of them, as you said before, have played rugby previously before their injuries, and
then they were gone.
I keep telling them, slow down, save yourself next week, but these guys are full on. They love the sport and they want to play, and they'll play as hard as they can and they'll train as hard as they can.
I keep mentioning this, but it's important. People can come down and give it a try. Get in touch with Northampton Saints, speak to their community department. And you're playing Leicester on Sunday, and it's open to the public, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. We're open to spectators. Come down, see what wheelchair rugby is about. We've been running for 2 years now, but people still aren't aware that we're here. So come down, have a look at wheelchair rugby, see what people with disabilities can do, how inclusive sport can be, and how competitive these guys are.
And a chance for a game against the old enemy, which is always nice.
Yeah, definitely. There's the rivalry between Northampton and Leicester, Tigers and the Saints. It's the same for the wheelchair rugby team. The one thing about rugby and wheelchair rugby is that everyone's supportive. So, yes, there'll be rivalry during the game, but afterwards they'll all be friends, they'll be shaking hands, giving each other tips on how to improve their game, how to improve their court work. So, yeah.
Amazing. Northampton International Academy then on Sunday, Annabelle. 2 games at 11 and 1. Doors open at 10:30. You can come down and watch. I urge you to do so. Apart from the fact that it's very entertaining, it is incredibly hard work. I am sweating on a Monday morning, and I'm going to take on Lenny in about half an hour.
Oh my gosh, I've now got an image of Lenny and his love handles in the wheelchair. Some of the hits in the background are brutal, aren't they? They really are.
Yeah, Lenny just got absolutely spannered by Jerry, the captain. I have to say, and respect, because they're not going easy on us. That's fair to say. Good. I don't think I'm going to be able to move by the time I get back. Well, Jerry,
Tom, what I do want to point out though is you are not allowed to use this as an excuse not to come to a musical with me tonight. Okay, any injury will not get you out of coming to the theatre. No. And I hate to break it to you.
Would I do such a thing?
Nick has just texted to say, Avenue Q, hey, when it was last on, my wife and I left. It's not a ringing endorsement, but he does go on to say that I bet Tom loves it.
That's not the best advert, is it? Nick's clearly just a very sensible man, isn't he? To walk out of a musical.
We'll
very
be
sensible.
Fine. Tom, we shall leave you to it to practice because I think you need as much as you can get. And stay tuned because before 9 o'clock this morning, Tom and Lenny will be put through their paces at Wheelchair Rugby. And as Tom was described earlier on, what did they say? More meat on a butcher's block. And Lenny has just described him getting into the wheelchair and saying that he's sweaty just from walking up the stairs. So it should be an interesting listen just before 9 o'clock this morning.
On FM.
Online.
On DAB Digital Radio.
And Freeview Channel 734.
This is BBC Radio Northampton.
So I mentioned Tom's coming to see a musical with me tonight. He's starting the day being almost killed playing wheelchair rugby. So it really is 24 hours of heaven this morning. Tom is at the Northampton International Academy, which is where Northampton Saints Wheelchair Rugby team do their training. And we've heard already some of the sounds that the tackles make. And, well, rather you than me, Tom.
Just a moment. Yeah, Annabelle, you're right. But just a moment. Can I just give you a little insight into Lenny Newman's world? What were you just doing, Lenny? Come on.
What are we going to do about Tom Percival? What are we going to do about him? Sound of music, Annabelle. Gotta be.
I hate Lenny. How can you like musicals?
Well, I do. I was brought up with my father, Oliver Twist, Sound of Music, and then lately, I'm not going to say The Greatest Showman,
Come
Moulin
on.
Rouge. I mean, it's a few years, but
great.
brilliant musical film.
For goodness sake. Do you know what? I'll say this. You're a lot bigger than me, but I know that I'm quicker than you in a wheelchair. You're wrong. You're just flat wrong.
Look, you're about half the weight of me, and they've given you a McLaren wheelchair, and I'm in a Massey Ferguson, and you're in a McLaren. So bring it on, Tommy Purcell, bring it on.
Fighting talk. There is going to be a challenge going on now. Jamie Higgins, the coach of Northampton Saints Wheelchair Rugby team. It's me versus Lenny. I feel like we need the Fleetwood Mac music or something. What are you going to have us doing?
Okay, so we've got a few markers marked out on the floor. You're going to do a bit of a slalom. The idea of this is to teach you the chair manoeuvrability and chair skills. One way of losing...
Lenny, stop it!
One way of losing possession of your ball is by going off court. So it's about sort of maintaining your chair presence and avoiding obstacles.
I already feel like I'm barely going to be able to move come tomorrow morning. My arms feel like they're in ribbons. My shoulders have seen better days.
Yeah, certainly. Getting in a wheelchair if you've never used one before is extremely hard work. The chairs are light and you're moving your own body weight, but the speed that these guys are moving at, it can make those muscles work, definitely.
Well, I'm looking forward to this. Jamie, I apologise in advance because the headphones might be a bit sweaty, but I'm going to pass you over to Annabelle. So if you hold that box for me and then take the microphone, pop those on your head, and you can say hello to Annabelle.
Good morning, Annabelle.
Hello, Jamie. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Good.
Looking forward to Lenny and Tom having this race.
Yes, so are we.
Where am I over here?
So they're just getting into the wheelchairs. Oh, they're in already, are they?
They're already in. We've had them strapped in for the last hour now and
Good, quite
been putting
right.
them through their paces.
Okay.
So we'll just wait for the alarm to stop because we are in the school hall this morning and
Yeah, it can be a little
the school
off-putting.
bell's running.
Okay, so now they're going to do
Okay.
this race against each other, yeah?
So we're racing against each other. They're going to do a slalom. They're going around about 6 markers. It's the first one to the line. The idea here is for them to push through and avoid the marker on the floor as much as possible.
Okay, and
Okay, so
your
we ready,
money is
gents?
your money's on Tom, is it?
My money's on Tom, but I think Lenny may have encouraged some of the guys to give him a bit of support and
Course
put some
they
hindrance on Tom to get round.
Okay, wonderful.
So we're going to give him a go. So, gentlemen, are we ready? Okay, off you go. They're off. So Lenny's in the lead at the moment, actually.
Oh, is he?
He's pushing through.
I really hope someone's videoing this.
Yeah, we're capturing this for you.
Okay.
Say Tom's pushed through and he's pushed down. Yeah, so Tom's captured that. And now the guys are following on and giving them a bit of a push.
Right.
But yeah, well done, Tom. You definitely won that there. Although he stole the lead at the end.
We'll hopefully get Tom back.
I think some of the other players were trying to box me in at the start as well, Lenny. Were you tipping people off? Were you trying to fix the odds?
No, Tom, I mean, I definitely thought you got ahead of me there. I need a steward's inquiry on that. It's happened before in the tug of war, and I think I've been robbed.
You offered to buy breakfast stuff.
Annabelle, it's worth just mentioning for the ladies and gentlemen who are listening, Lenny Newman is something of a cheat. I think anyone who casts their mind back to Northamptonshire Day will remember the Coconut Shy versus Splat the Rat game. Lenny cheated at that. Any opportunity to get an unfair advantage. But I think today, Lenny, you've been shown who's boss.
Yeah, I have. The wheelchair, Northampton Saints Wheelchair Rugby team have been the boss today. Tom, not
Yeah.
you. That's the
No, not me.
Yeah, the boys have been absolutely brilliant, and you just pale into insignificance, really, Tom, compared to these lads.
Lenny, do you fancy coming down on Sunday against Leicester Tigers?
I do, actually. What time's the kick-off again, boys? 11 o'clock at the NIA, which is absolutely, what a facility. And it's very warm because it's really hot in here. I'm sweating. I don't know why that is. Do you, Tom?
I think it's because I've been using muscles that I've not used in a very long time.
It's wonderful, great for fitness, but these boys have really put us to shame this morning, haven't they? But early doors on a Monday, I think this is, they're smiling, and I think they said that Tom Purcell was going to buy them all breakfast. How true that is, I don't know.
Hey, listen, I'm on a BBC salary, Lenny. You get to make money outside the corporation, so you're paid. Jerry Captain, come over just 1 second. Jerry Mac, first of all, good luck for Sunday. You must be very excited.
Very excited, and also very proud to become the captain of the team and roll them out on Sunday on the court. We're excited. Can't wait to get the Tigers down here and see where we level out against them. You know, they've been going a long time compared to us, and it'll just be great for the guys, great for morale, and just benchmark to see where we are for the season.
And just, I mean, slightly serious question, but we've talked a little bit off air about the difference that the camaraderie and the competitiveness and things have made for you and for other people when they've gone through really difficult experiences in their lives. Lots more people will go through that and could get benefit from this. So what would you say to people listening who are maybe struggling to find a new purpose after a life-changing injury?
Most definitely reach out, try and find a sport that will work for you, because I never thought I'd ever play a sport again. I was very competitive in so many different sports, like so many of the guys here today, and along came wheelchair rugby, and it's changed me as a person, and it's changed a lot of these guys as well. It gives us such a purpose. So yeah, if you're out there and you're listening and you want a purpose, check us out. Please come down and see us, and if wheelchair rugby's not for you, there's plenty of us here play other sports, but if it's signpost you in the right direction.
Thanks ever so much for letting me come down this morning. Thank you all for coming out as well, and good luck on Sunday as well. This has been an amazing morning, Annabelle, really humbling, and I'll tell you what, the upper body strength, I definitely don't have it.
Yeah, you really don't. Tom, great stuff, and well done for winning. Oh my gosh. I shall see you later on, because we've got our date tonight, so I'm glad that you have not been injured for that. And I don't know whether you heard earlier on, we obviously had one Nick saying that they'd walked out of Avenue Q. Another Nick has texted to say it's one of the best things he's ever seen. So don't worry, it will all be good.
The other good news for you, Anna, well, I'll leave this up to you, Anna, but on a scale of 1 to 10, how badly would you like me to have had a shower before you see me later on?
You definitely need to have a shower. I am not going out with you if you smell. That's the minimum that I request. Tom, we shall see you back at base. He survived. That'll do for us then.
Ready? Make sure you keep
Go. Keep going.
It's happened before in the tug of war.